Hello, I'm Kate Freeman, and this is the Daily Dollop. On this episode of the Daily Dollop, I'm going to chat about breakfast. I'm going to talk about finding time for breakfast, how to build a healthy, filling meal, and give you 5 easy on-the-go options for when you're really busy. Well, welcome back to the Daily Dollop, everybody. My name's Kate Freeman. I'm a registered nutritionist and the founder of the Healthy Eating Hub. And fun fact about me, well, it's actually not super fun, just going to be a little bit honest and share this morning that for the past 2 years, roughly, I've been experiencing some anxiety. And I have never really fully experienced it before in my life. Certainly had periods of being up and down and gone through different experiences with life that cause emotional distress. But I've had persistent anxiety on and off for definitely the last 2 years. And definitely it's connected to some high business pressure and the pressure that I put on myself. There's just something about putting yourself out there that just freaks me out a little bit. And so I just wanted to share with you that if you are experiencing stress and anxiety, that you are not alone, and that some people may appear to be doing okay. And me getting in front of this microphone and camera each week can, I guess, just make me appear that, Kate's so confident and she lives this perfect life and never struggles with anything. But it's simply not true. So don't believe the show reel that you see on social media. We're all going through tough times on and off and struggling with our mental health. So be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I've found that dealing with my anxiety, I've been really tough on myself because I shouldn't have it because I've got a supportive, great life. But that guilt is not helpful. So make sure that you are really, I guess, non-judgmental about your mental health so that you can actually help yourself manage it. I've certainly found for me that slower mornings, going for a walk, prayer, and just making sure I'm prioritizing downtime has been a really important part of managing my anxiety. And it leads me into the topic today around breakfast, because one of the symptoms of my anxiety, because I experience it first thing in the morning when I wake up, is that I have really low appetite, I feel quite nauseous, and I can't eat. And I have gone through periods in my teens and young adults where I didn't eat breakfast, but mostly because I was unorganized and would forget to. Because I've found breakfast has always been a really helpful thing for me with my nutrition and is a healthy habit for me. I don't like skipping meals. I don't function well fasting or doing that. That doesn't work for me. But I've found breakfast really challenging, particularly over the last couple of years. But I can't skip it. And on the mornings when I do, I feel even worse. My nausea gets worse. I think it actually makes my anxiety worse as my blood sugar levels drop. And so I just wanted to reach out to those of you who are feeling like, breakfast is important and it does help me, but I really struggle to eat in the mornings. That's something that I have full experience with. And so when it comes to eating breakfast, you would have, if you caught my previous episode, I looked at the research around whether you should eat it or skip it. And to quickly summarize that, it doesn't really matter. Just pick what works for you and what helps you stay consistent. But whether you decide to eat first thing in the morning as soon as you wake up because you're hungry and you're raring to go, or you want to wait a couple of hours after you've woken up and eat your breakfast mid-morning, or if you want to make morning tea or lunch your first meal of the day, that is fine as well. And just see any kind of meal or snack an opportunity for nourishment and a part of your daily eating habits. And so what I found has really helped me is I get up in the morning, take it really slow. I have a coffee, I can do that, go for a nice walk, and then I come back. I'm feeling so much calmer after my walk that I then can eat breakfast with no troubles. And it's taken me a little while to come into that routine, but what I want to do is encourage you around your breakfast habits, depending on how breakfast makes you feel, is just be really kind and open to experimenting with different things. Again, there are no rules, so you can eat it whenever you want to and whatever suits you and your routine and your life. So what I want to get stuck into though today is chatting about building a healthy, filling breakfast. So once you're starting to get a pretty good idea about when you eat breakfast and what's working for you, then you want to start thinking about, all right, well, what is the best thing for me to eat? And when I want to answer that question, I'm really looking at the two main reasons why you eat in the first place. And they are for nourishment. So our body needs nutrients, vitamins, minerals, fiber, protein, carbohydrates, fats, antioxidants. Our body needs nutrients to function. So we need its nourishment. And then the second thing is fuel and energy. And so a number of those nutrients, in particular carbohydrates and fats, are fuel for our body. Our body breaks them down into energy so that we can move and think and repair and do life. So when it comes to eating breakfast, I would say that if we want to go for a nice, nutrient-rich, fueling breakfast that helps us feel full and satisfied and then keeps our blood sugar levels nice and stable and so that we can be in control of our appetite throughout the rest of the morning until our next meal. And so the key things that we know help fill us up, that provide us with nutrients, are fiber-rich foods and our protein-rich foods. So when I'm talking about fiber, I'm talking about the indigestible portion of plant-based foods. So it's the bran in a whole grain, legumes are fiber-rich, it's the structural elements of fruits and vegetables that we eat, as well as nuts and seeds. And so fiber helps keep us feeling fuller for longer. It slows down the digestion and absorption of carbohydrates, meaning that the sugar enters our bloodstream nice and slowly and gradually, helping us stay nice and in control of our appetite throughout the morning. So I think adding in a nice fiber-rich food into your breakfast is a key part of building a nice, satisfying, nutritious breakfast. The other thing is protein. So we know that protein is a really key part of our whole physiology. Nearly everything in your body is made up of protein, and your body is constantly building proteins and breaking them down. It's what we call protein turnover, because there's lots of jobs that your body has to do throughout the day that involve building proteins. So it gets a number of the building blocks for the proteins and jobs that it has to do from your diet. And we know that eating protein regularly throughout the day can help with that. So including a good protein source in at your breakfast can be really, really helpful. Then I think about, well, I want to enjoy my food and add some flavor and some variety and other nutrients. So then on top of that, we can add in some fats, some fruit, or maybe some vegetables. So to help illustrate those key nutrition principles, I've got 5 ideas that you can do for on-the-go breakfast, which just puts those nutrition principles that I discussed into action. So the first idea that you can have on the go is a Bircher style muesli. The great thing about Bircher muesli is that you make it in advance so that on the morning, whether you eat it first thing in the morning or you bring it to work and eat it later on, however you've decided to have your breakfast, is that it's grab and go for the morning. And so you're getting a really great source of fiber when you're using oats in the Bircher muesli. You're getting some protein when you're adding in some yogurt, and then you've got the extra nutrition and flavor and enjoyment with the addition of maybe some shredded up apple or other fruits, berries, maybe you've added in some chia seeds or some toasted flaked almonds, that kind of thing. My sister has such a great Bircher recipe. Actually, I'm going to ask her for the recipe and I will post it. Stay tuned for that. But it's so nice. It's oats and apple juice with then chopped up apple through, really nice natural yogurt, some toasted almonds and some strawberries. Oh, so yummy, so yummy. But Bircher muesli is a great option that has those principles. Another option, if you want to make something at the time but then consume it while you're commuting, is a smoothie. So you can add fiber to your smoothie through some rolled oats, maybe some Weet-Bix cereal you can add, or some psyllium husk. Anytime you add some fruit, you're also going to be adding fiber, so bananas or berries or mango, that kind of thing. Yogurt and milk are great protein sources. Soy milk can be a great non-dairy protein source. Or if you can't have dairy or soy milk, you could add in a protein powder to just boost the protein in your smoothie if you're using a plant-based milk as well. But the protein along with the fiber is just going to make that smoothie much more filling and satisfying. Then of course you can add in things. You can add in baby spinach for some veggies, which would be reasonably flavorless with all the other flavors in there. Add in some nuts or some peanut butter, add in some other fruits, etc. So smoothies are fantastic. There's heaps of different combos you can do of that. Another idea for an on-the-go breakfast that requires you to make it in advance is homemade baked beans. Really, really easy to make, a great way to add in extra vegetables, but you're going to get both fiber and protein from your beans. So typically baked beans are made out of broad beans or butter beans. You can use cannellini beans, 4-bean mix. We've got a couple of recipes on the Healthy Eating Hub's website. I'm going to link to our breakfast recipes in the show notes for you so you can go check those out. But you can add some extra protein with an egg when you just microwave them in the morning. Super easy peasy. So make it in advance, portion it out, breakfast ready to go. Yum, yum. Eggs on toast can be another fabulous breakfast idea that you don't have to complicate. You can add vegetables to that or not if you want to, mushrooms, baby spinach, tomatoes. But depending on your skill in the kitchen, this will feel like an easy or a difficult meal. I love scrambled eggs on toast. Scrambled eggs literally take 2 minutes to cook, and you can cook them while the toast is in the toaster. So it can be an easy 5 minutes max to whip it together. And then, you need it, 5 minutes or so to then eat it. But you get the nice filling meal of fiber from a really nice grainy or rye toast, and then some protein from your eggs. Lastly is a toasted sandwich. Now, before you stone me, because you've heard that bread is evil, firstly, bread is not evil. Secondly, a toasted sandwich is a fantastic on-the-go breakfast idea that can be really filling. Use a really nice grainy wholemeal or rye-style bread so you're getting the fiber. Then add in some protein into that toasted sandwich. It could be some ham off the bone or just a slice of cheese, leftover baked beans, etc. And then you can add in veggies, spinach, tomatoes, lots of different things. Add in some fats, basil pesto. Make your sandwiches in advance, freeze them in the morning, grab them out, sandwich press, chuck them in a paper bag. Cafe at home. Excellent. Well, that is it for today's episode. On-the-go breakfast ideas for you to try. I'd love to see what you thought of some of those ideas. So post your photos on Instagram, tag me, # the Daily Dollop. Otherwise, have a fabulous day, team, and we'll see you in the next episode.